My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Was on the list quite some time. I just never got a chance to record it. Busy, 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 doing nothing at all. Let's see this. It's 1 minute and 1 second.
Busy, busy, doing nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna get flagged for the audio anyway. Oh my god, this is where the squad took the picture of putting Harry on the boat. They were comparing it. Oh my god. Yeah, the people who were taking the pictures did not like him. They put all the bad part. Let me see if the music is still going on. Yeah, the music is still going on. There will be a screenshot in between. I'm sorry about that. God damn, it's like every piece of the corner of the world that is left untouched, they're going and messing it up. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's called Goodwill International Relation. Massive publicity for UK, helps business development. He'll get hugely more column inches and digital hits than all the heads of state put together, most of whom nobody could name. Hope you don't work in PR or marketing. From what I've seen, from what the squad was showing, this thing didn't get that much hit. There is not even a massive publicity in the UK, which business takes business decision based on the travel plans by Billy Idol. The important heads of state are not even there. Billy Idol is not the draw you fantasize he is. And can we end noting that you made no claims at all for his impact on the planet? You have been conned and it has never occurred to you to engage your thinking part. Okay, you just effing jealous. Jealous for what? Jealous for what? The guy has so much money, but yet he thinks he doesn't have any. Where he's saying something about his kids. There's something I posted. Let me go look for it before I go to the next one. Where he was talking about his kids gonna have a better future or something. Oh, reply. That's where I should see it. Where is it? This one. Okay. So that's from the speech here. I was watching a YouTube video. And on the side of the video being played, I saw this. There's that here. I was thinking, what kind of a life they now have with what they have at their disposal? Who's making their lives dark now? And is he looking at Harry's life from the glimpse Harry is sharing, thinking he can have it too? All right, so this was the headline here. Prince William tells his children they will have a brighter future. With what they have at their disposal, they are really at the top of social class. How much brighter do they need to really destroy other people's lives so their kids go to have extra? No, anyway, but that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I just thought I'd share it with you. These are old, okay? I never got a chance to record them. William and Kate's rebrand as tree huggers and nature lovers is the weirdest PR ever because the die-hard royalists they're trying to impress don't even believe climate change is real. It's because the WEF always wanted him as the global figurehead. They don't care about their base. They care about international attention and clout because they want to feel superior to Harry and Meghan. Let me see. There's 2 comments under it here. They fell miserably. Yeah. I don't even think their fan are talking about it. It's mostly the squad, and here I am talking about it. Here in Brazil, nobody remember Kate. William only commented on his children. Okay, I'm not even over there, so I'm assuming this person is in Brazil. I promise, he's hating his life right at that moment. Nothing whatsoever to do with diverting attention away from the nuns previously known as Prince. True, just put William W.E.F. into the search bar and see what they say. That's a Make Sweeney level PR tilt. I'm done with this. Alright. Good King Harry doing his duty on his own time, his own dime. William, on the other hand, what the other disappointment he's turning out to be. Alright, so this is William with people. And there's Harry. Alright, Harry's decency and humanity are obvious. William, on the other hand, there's that. Okay, so this is another picture between the two. Telegraph. Prince Harry was a half and royal in Toronto, albeit via the back door. What the hell? Via the back door? Okay, there's Harry with this person here. The Tamil royals are always desperate to try and claim son of King Harry's glow. Let's pause that. He may have been banned from pursuing his charitable endeavors on behalf of the royal family, but Harry has seemingly decided that he will plow on regardless. Yeah, he did say that. And when he was doing the speech at the Center Bally, he said nothing changes. It will continue.
It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes.
Alright, it's as if Harry and Meghan are doing this work because they're actually passionate about it. That's exactly that. A few words for royalists: barn door, spill milk and vain, miss opportunity, fertile, etc. Someone must inform the rag that Harry is royal by blood through and through. Yeah, I don't know what they thought. I don't know what they think. That just because they don't want it, but he is the son of a king. News flash for British royal family and royalists. There are thousands of non-charities outside the Commonwealth that have attachment to royals or Brits, and anyone can advocate on their behalf. Wasn't Harry that as Invictus patron, so nothing royal about it at all. These people are desperate. It's not like only the royals do charity. They don't even do charity. They use the charity as a way to do their crazy stuff in the background. The just knighted Beckham for charity. Is he a quasi-royal now? He's a full-blown working royal, unlike William. Alright. Prince Harry was born royal, and he behaves more regal and royal than the leftovers. Alright, this is the last. Okay, I read everything. Harry being in Toronto has nothing to do with the royal family. He was there at the invitation of the Canadian organization directly to him, not via the royal family. Okay, so there's that. Alright, go on, what is it? PYTE. I did a video where I read Sussex.com why they were there. It was 2 articles, but I only read one. Alright, what did y'all call them? Their Majesties? Now I can unsee it. Laughing my ass off. They're talking about William and JK. Okay? Prince and Prince of Wales had me doubled over. Alright, so this is extra here. What is that? Oh. Okay. Let me like this. Let me add this. I didn't have that at all on my list. Okay, I just added this on my list. I probably will put the video by itself on Output of Pew Service. I didn't highlight this at all on that channel. I'm ashamed to say that. Alright, Prince Harry has lots of charm. There's no comment. Alright, let's listen. CTV News, lots of charm. Prince Harry wins over Toronto's century-old war heroes. Marshall said to Prince Harry, "You serve in the army. We appreciate that." Okay, so let's listen. 1 minute and 46 seconds.
Sunnybrook Veterans Center, the biggest care facility of its kind in the country.
How old are you now? I'm almost 102.
Here, Prince Harry met with some of the nation's oldest veterans who served in either the Second World War or the Korean War, and the prince seeming to really enjoy himself.
For me, it's the banter. It's the banter, it's the humor, it's the community that they are given here.
Here, veterans are taking part in creative art therapies, where both art and music are used to help vets with their physical and mental health. Brenda Reed, who's 101, thrilled to meet the prince.
He certainly has lots of charm. You just talked to him. I practically called him Harry.
Prince Harry is, of course, a veteran himself. He did 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan with the British Armed Forces, saying he's just one of a long list of family members to visit veterans here.
My aunt's been here, grandmother's been here, my great-grandmother's been here. So it's a real privilege for me to be able to be here.
The prince helping to paint poppies on a military helmet, one of several being auctioned off by the military charity True Patriot Love.
Just wanted to give you the offer.
And towards the end of the visit, a moment of levity, the prince was presented with a Blue Jays hat. He was widely criticized across the country after being spotted at Dodgers Stadium sporting a Dodgers hat during the World Series.
I would like to apologise to Canada for wearing it. Secondly, I was under duress. There wasn't much choice. I was invited to the LA Dodgers box, or the dugout, by the owner himself, so I was doing what I thought was the polite thing to do. But I'm going to wear this from now on to make sure I don't make any more of those mistakes.
As for the veterans,
It was really special.
Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay, I think I shared this already, so I'm not even gonna, not a effing clue. Alright, so is it the same thing? I think.
I grew up with my father.
Yeah, I shared it already. Let's see some of the comments here. It appears to be working on the youth. Is it? Let's see here.
How many years do you think the world has left if we don't get climate change under control?
I think it said 7 or 6 years left.
6 years.
Something around that. I'm not positive, don't quote me on that, but I think it's around that, yeah.
Do you think it's 6 years? Do you think that's kind of extreme, or do you think that we're really on that track right
I
now?
think we're really on that track. I think
6 years and we're done.
Yeah, I don't think there's much left.
How many years do you think the...
Okay, it's playing over. But the US effed up. There's a video I came across. I was seeing, can I find it? It's a YouTube video where they're talking about some part, I think it's somewhere in the coast of California, where companies are dumping things. Okay, it's happening in the UK as well. Let me see if I could find it. Never mind, I'm spending too much time looking for it. I thought it would have been on my history, but I didn't see it. So earlier this morning when I was recording my morning recording, this is the video that I was searching for. So let's listen. I may not finish play everything, but this is the video that I was searching for and I wanted to share with you.
I have a confession. I did not know that 12 miles off the coast of Los Angeles, near Catalina Island, are all these barrels just sitting on the ocean floor. What is in these barrels, you ask? Scientists tested the sediment that was in these barrels, and they came back positive with very high concentrations of DDT, a pesticide that was banned in the 70s. At first, scientists thought that there were just about 50 barrels or so, but after an extensive ocean mapping led by biology and earth professor David Valentine in conjunction with Scripps Institute of Oceanography, they found more than 25,000 barrels scattered across the seafloor near Catalina Island, with a contamination site covering seafloor larger than the size of San Francisco. That number shocked the research team and possibly explained the wildly high occurrence of cancer in sea lions in that area. But what are 25,000 barrels of DDT doing off the coast of LA? Well, first of all, the fact that barrels of DDT exist on the California seafloor is not a secret. What was news to everyone was finding thousands of these high-density DDT barrels outside of the documented dumping sites. DDT was widely used from the 40s all the way to the 70s as a pesticide, but it was banned because it was linked to cancer in both animals and humans and also posed an environmental threat to existing ecosystems. Some of these barrels are 70 years old, which means the chemicals aren't breaking down the way scientists back then thought they would. And surprise, surprise, Southern California was the hub for DDT production in the US, and the main manufacturer was Montrose Chemical Corporation in Torrance, California. Before DDT was banned, Montrose dumped 2,000 barrels a month of chemical waste, including DDT, off the coast of LA. What's even worse is that some employees poked holes into the barrels so that they sink faster. You know what they say, work fast, not safe. The barrels are now disintegrating. And once that process starts, it's hard to contain DDT from seeping into the environment and the marine food web. This will not harm any swimmers or surfers since DDT does not dissolve in water. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for fish or other marine life, which ultimately do make its way up into the human food chain. This points to a bigger issue that our oceans are heavily contaminated, yet largely unmonitored. So if you ever wonder what people mean when they say a forever chemical, you're looking at one right now. For more science we're sharing like this, follow us everywhere at Today I Learned Science.
I saw it last night. Oh my God. I hear Pa wrote his speech, totally unrelated, but he looks like a buzzard. Let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. All right. So this is another tweet while William was in Brazil. All right. Let's pause. Can happen on any holiday. It's 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Príncipe William indo embora agora.
It seems like it's William running to go to the bathroom.
Agora na Baía de Guanabara.
Running, walking to go to the
Tá na
bathroom.
estação das barcas aqui de Paquetá. Príncipe William, gente. Ah, vai ao banheiro antes. Príncipe William indo ao banheiro, gente. Aí, da estação de barcas
He can't hold it
de
anymore.
Paquetá. Vai no banheiro e a segurança na porta, né, gente? As estações fechadas, bloqueadas nesse momento.
I wonder where that is. Is it a train station? There's a turnstile.
O príncipe
He's done.
só deu uma paradinha pra ir no banheiro, gente. Agora, como todo ser humano, foi ao banheiro.
Clapping for what?
Agora tá retornando aqui pra falar com... Continuar, né? Falar com o público de Paquetá. Povo de Paquetá, gente.
What do you love most about living here? What do you love most about living here? Football. Football, who do you support?
So that's that. I'm not even gonna go in the comment. You could pause and read. Oh, let's see here. I wish he'd been a little more gentle questioning a child whose first language may not be English. All right, let's go to the next bit. And I think this will be the last thing. Okay, so this one I saw. When was it? November 5th. Okay, today is the 8th. So Graham Smith. He's incredibly lazy, doesn't do anything. So let's just... Oh my God! Yeah, this is the last video. The last tweet for this video. Almost 8 minutes. Let's listen.
In the book as to what's happened there. Looking ahead, because obviously the book talks about survival. Again, any way that they can maybe get what they want, which was a kind of half in, half out, being sort of royal, but not really.
I think the Queen got it right. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
I think that that they do have a great life of privilege and live in nice houses and have quite a good a lifestyle. Yes, there are issues as well with security and things you've got to worry about. But at the same time, you can't have it both ways. I don't think either would want that. The Queen acknowledged that, and you can't then
that if you take charitable activities, the monarchy has an absolutely unique profile. We see this with William and the
It makes no difference to charity at all. I mean, this is the thing. There's so much stuff said about the monarchy which isn't true, and there's been a very detailed study on their impact on charity by an independent authority, which said the impact is close to zero. And part of the problem with them, and part of the problem with William, who is currently in line to be the next monarch, is he's incredibly lazy. He doesn't do anything. I mean, last month he did about 4 days.
Look at the Prince's Trust, now the King's Trust. That had to
it's an independent charity that will function with all.
From what I've heard, the Prince's Trust, who's now the King Trust, they said that it's because Charles didn't trust William to take care of it because he thought that probably was gonna waste. The value of it will not be the same, so he changed it to King Trust and he took it along with it. What I think really happened, because the money that's behind that, the Prince Trust, I think it's Camilla, who probably wanted Charles to take it along with him. Because when there's money, these people are always around and then want William to go and waste it. So anyway, let's continue. Now I realize this is a collage of different interviews. It's not just one thing. They old, by the way. I think some of them I've seen them before. But let's continue.
Without the royals and the impact of them on charity. I mean, William did about 4 days of work last month. 4 days in total. And when I say work, I mean turning up and waving at people, most of which is done in or near their houses. They really do very little, and they cost us £500 million a year, and for a whole family, which we do not need, including people that most people would never have heard of, like the Duke and Duchess of Kent, the Prince and Princess of Kent, the Duke of Gloucester. They're all included in this £500 million cost.
If you're looking seriously at charitable input, if you look at the way King Charles...
Keep in mind, this guy, I forgot his name. He was one of the royal rats who got paid to do an interview before the Oprah interview was aired to talk about it. Okay? Those YouTubers. That's him. But let's continue.
Since 1970, he was the first figure to internationally push the environment.
Well, that's not true.
It is a proven fact. And also...
the environmental cause has been pushed for decades by all sorts of people, and Charles's views on the environment have been questionable at best many times. And he has a huge carbon footprint. He is a hypocrite. And he is distracting from the very serious issue of the wealthiest people having the largest carbon footprint.
The interest online and also from the media on everything the royals do, you're trying to pretend it doesn't exist, but it does.
No, there's interest in the Kardashians and David Beckham as well, but it doesn't mean that we give them £500 million and put them on a throne.
But in terms of money,
culture is one thing.
Just in terms of money, sorry to interrupt, in terms of money, the sovereign grant is going to increase next year, and that is because indisputably there has been a rise in Crown Estate profits. So how do you explain a rise in Crown Estate profits if, as you say, Graham, there's a decrease in interest in the royal family? How do they balance?
Well, the Crown Estate profits is land values. So the Crown Estate profits goes up partly, a large part of it is to do with wind farms in the sea, because the Crown Estate owns a large amount of our seabed, so their profits are going up. Now, the Crown Estate belongs to the state. It's got nothing to do with the royals, doesn't belong to Charles, and it doesn't fund the monarchy. What happens is that all of that money goes to the government, but for some reason George Osborne in 2011 decided to peg the funding for the monarchy to their profits. And so this year, just last month, the £500 million cost went up by another £45 million because of this increased profit from the Crown Estate. This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We can have all that profit and slash the budget down to £10 million and then elect our head of state.
All right, last word, Richard.
What you've got is also a pivotal 369 million over 10 years refurbishment of Buckingham Palace. And if one thing you're not attending to is the profile of the royal family. Internationally, it is quite extraordinary. It's not just
people like Prince Andrew, yes, a wonderful profile advert for our country.
This guy is on top of his game. He's on top of his game. If you haven't, I don't know if I shared it on my community board or on a video regarding Prince Andrew is being called by the Democratic and the state to come and testify. And I think this partially have to do with why the GOP want to shut down the government. Well, not want to, it's shut down right now to not have it working because they're getting too close to the answer about the Epstein. All right, so let's continue. But this guy, I think that's the guy from Not My King thing. He's on top of his game. He knows what he's talking about.
You can't quantify everything with reference to just simple figures when you are looking at a profile that no other organisation...
You say that because you have no figures on your side, Richard.
All right, look, there we need to leave it. Fascinating debate. Richard, Graham, thank you both very much.
You know, currently, is it duty second? I don't know. But I think you're right. He's putting a line in the sand at the moment about what he's going to do as the monarch going forward.
But as the late Queen, you say, you've got to be seen to be believed, and the fact is you've got to be out active, and there has been criticism in the papers subsequent to your splash about the lack of jobs that he's doing, and compared to, say, the Princess Royal and even the King. I mean, the King, you know, is still living with cancer, and is very, very active, and it must be incredibly sapping for him. And the Princess Royal, I mean, I was at a function the other day where she became president, taken over from the Duke of Edinburgh as president of the In-N-Out Club, and there she was, turning up late at night, you know, then having dinner with the board of directors till about 11. You know, she'd had a full and active day. It goes to the territory. If you remember what she said in that interview with the Canadian television, is that be careful what you wish for, because if you start downsizing too much, your influence, your stretch, it becomes less. You're less connected with the people. You know, people do turn out when they see, particularly people like, you know, Sophie Wessex and the new Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward. They turn out in droves. They like that connection. And if you lose that connection, the monarchy actually loses something that it's about.
And also, it sort of feeds into the Republican ideal that why do we need a monarchy?
We've now seen Prince Harry step away.
You know what I'm thinking as I was listening to Jobson talking, is that if the royal family had allowed every members, okay, to be themselves, and if they are on social media, let them be, but at the same time have like a, I don't know, weekly, monthly meeting with all members, those who are on social media, to find out how their social media account is doing. That way they could reach out with different people. But what's happening here, Men in Grey Suit, they have a vision. They want to narrow the vision, and it's not what the rest of the population want. So if they had allowed members of the royal family, each one of them have different interests, I'm pretty sure. So they probably will have attract different groups, different people. So just let them be and support them. And if there are things that's in the negative, help them to redirect it in a way where it's on a positive. But Men in Grey Suit don't want that. They want to control everybody and everything. And then their vision that they have, it's not liked by the rest of the people. Let's just focus on the UK itself. Forget the rest of the world, because the rest of the world could ignore them for all they wish. But in the UK. But they don't want that. If they had let Harry and Meghan be and implement what I've just said, let Harry and Meghan do whatever it is that they want, but occasionally have weekly or monthly meeting and see how they are doing and how to integrate the vision of the royal family or the monarchy into their social spaces. But they don't want that. So this is why they're losing a lot of followers. I'm talking about the royal family, the left behinders. But let's continue. Let me move this back slightly because it had just started. Okay.
And also, it sort of feeds into the Republican ideal that why do we need a monarchy?
We've now seen Prince Harry step away as a working royal, and he now lives his life in America with Meghan Markle. Would you want the Prince and Princess of Wales to follow a similar path to Harry and Meghan?
Yeah, but I think they all ought to. I mean, I think that, you know, at the moment we pay through the Duchy of Cornwall, which is not private property, despite their claim it is. We pay William a personal income of about £25 million a year,
My God.
which is 6 times the combined incomes of all the elected heads of state of Europe, at least. And for that, he does very little. I mean, if you look at his calendar, his schedule of engagements, which are typically an hour long, if that, it really doesn't add up to much. And
but just before you get sorry to interrupt you, Graham, but obviously he's only seen in public for an hour or two a day. I accept your point on that, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
Well, I dispute that, because I think that there's no evidence of this work. Other people do lots of work behind the scenes. There's no evidence that he does. And a lot of what he puts on the engagement schedule is also stuff that he does behind the scenes, including Zoom calls and telephone calls. And if he's putting meetings of the Duchy of Cornwall, which he claims is private, on his list of engagements, you know, it's just they're padding it a little bit. But the point is, we don't get an awful lot in return for £25 million or £24 million, which is an obscene amount of money to throw at one person. And so we would all be better off, including William and Kate, if they went off and did their own thing, whether they choose to live in the States or stay here.
All right, this is the thing here. They're trying to be like Harry and Meghan, but what Harry and Meghan are doing, it's a lot of work. They're self-sustaining themselves, but at the same time, the leftovers, William and Kate, wants to follow Harry and Meghan, but it's the people that's paying them, and then they're doing very little with pretty much not really much of an outcome of the amount that they're getting. All right, so you could pause and read this. Okay, they're showing some receipts. Most likely you won't be able to read some of them. Alright, so these are headline. Okay. That's that. So it's a collage of things. Maybe I'll try to put it on a video by itself. I don't know. Okay, William has known all his life that he was going to be the Prince of Wales, and as of today, he can speak a lick of Welsh. Kate, and all her time off, could have at least learned Welsh and can't be bothered. Don't they have Ozempic and the UK? Alright, so that's that. Let me see. I have more, but I'm already an hour, and I'm probably gonna have 3 or 4 videos today in my recording to get my list out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna start with this on my next recording. Okay, it probably will be on PYTE. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.